Hope everyone's doing okay. Let me find my chat on my phone. Uh-oh, I'm not seeing it. Okay, it's not showing I went live. It's really weird. Okay. There it is. I'll just wait for y'all to get in here. You may hear the wind blowing in the background because it is blowing really, really hard. I kind of got scared when I went over and let the animals out this morning because there's all those big trees and the wind was blowing hard. I was afraid a limb might fall out. But anywho, we got a couple different topics to talk about this morning. If y'all ever get here, stinking YouTube never notifies anybody. It doesn't matter if you set up the live stream or not. It's so annoying. They need to get with the program. Seriously. While I'm waiting on y'all, I want to get something pulled up. I want to know if anyone watched that new Cindy Watts interview with that Miss Justice lady. Anybody watches replay, let me know in the comment section if you watched that interview. There's really nothing new. Gosh, that wind's blowing hard. Hey, Brooks channel. Hey, how are you? I don't know where everyone's at this morning. I bet YouTube didn't notify anyone. I was just getting my screen ready. Denise, good morning. I watched it and I was pissed. Was she just talking about the same old crap, you know? Chocolate candy. Shanann's not here to defend herself. It's just not Shanann's fault, the reason that she didn't have a good relationship with Cindy. It's Cindy's fault, too, because, it takes both of them trying to have a relationship, right? But I can just imagine how Cindy is. She's probably one of those mother-in-laws. Tatum Page, good morning. I'm sorry for your loss, girl. I seen Marsha White Sharky's post. I'm sorry, girl. I'm praying for you. Southern Mom, no notifications. Denise got a notification. That's the way they are. I mean, YouTube's got money. They're so freaking annoying. Brooke's channel, I'm still sick. I hate to hear that, Brooke. It's terrible. I got a notification. Yeah, some people get notifications, some people don't. You can try unsubscribing and subscribing back. Make sure you turn on the bell. But that don't work half the time. Well, I'm praying for you. I lost my grandfather. It about killed me, girl. So I feel for you. Thinking about you. I would have liked to have done a reaction to Cindy Watts's interview, but I think that lady, she used to go by the name Miss Mensa that done the interview. She would strike my channel in a heartbeat because I think she struck other people's channels for, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I think she can be not so nice. Let's just say that. Yeah, make sure to put, thank you, Brooke. Make sure to push all notifications. Yeah. Jack's mom. Hey, Cece, I usually just listen in, but want to let you know that there are some folks here. Hey, thank you, Jack's mom. Let me get back to my StreamYards chat. I'm going to highlight that. Thank you. I love it when people comment that I don't even know who's watching. It's crazy. I love it. Hey, thanks for the support, girl. Appreciate it. Miss Mintz is crazy. She won't last long. Hey, I used to listen to her a lot, when the Watts case, was fresh, first going on and stuff. And even though I didn't agree with a lot of what she said, I'd still listen. People give her hell in the comment section. I never did. I mean, I'm not going to argue with someone over a true crime case. Unless it was like someone saying Fotis Dulos was innocent, me knowing it's not, then I may argue about that one. Yeah, but she's changed her name. What is it, Brooke? It is Miss Liberty Justice or something like that. Mommy Ramblins did a reaction to that video. I've not watched it yet. Yeah, we're praying for you, Brooke. Sorry you're sick. Paige, yeah, I lost my nanny in December. I still have not grieved her. It's devastating. Oh, Paige, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. That's hard, losing two loved ones that close together. Praying for you. So a while back, I think one of our topics one morning was baby Armani. And he was shot in the chest by his mom's boyfriend. He just snapped one day. Shot this baby in the chest. It's not his biological child. Thankfully, the baby is making a recovery, but from the gunshot wound, right? But he could still possibly have some brain damage because of lack of oxygen. We're going to read this. Like, I don't know what happened to this guy. He was working at a ramen noodle factory in Texas. He called her, his girlfriend, to come pick him up. He was stressed out. Came home, was acting weird, didn't want to hold the baby or didn't want to feed the baby. He became upset, went and took a shower, came back into the room, looked in the mirror, got out a gun. He shot his mother. He shot, I believe, his 15-year-old sister. They survived. They're okay now. And then he shot the baby in the chest, a newborn baby. Don't know what happened to him. So his name is Lance Tello Jr. He's 19 years old. The baby's name is Armani Cazares. I think that's how you pronounce it. He shot him inside of a Five Forks Drive in San Antonio. And the mother's name is Daisy Dela Cruz. She's 18 years old. Dela Cruz told News 4SA that hours before the shooting, she was at Tello's home after he had a stressful evening from working 6 days straight at the Marichan, Texas Incorporation factory. He seemed fine after a while, and she asked him to feed the baby. Tello agreed, but while holding Armani, his mood changed. He became irate, according to Dela Cruz, and left for a shower to cool off. Dela Cruz said Tello ignored her for hours, then suddenly looked at himself in the mirror before retrieving a gun from between a mattress. He just flipped, Dela Cruz said. He has no emotion in his face. He was just looking at me with this evil look. Dela Cruz recounted Tello pointing the gun at her and eyeing her son. She's quoted as saying, I'm telling him, you're not going to shoot my baby. But before I could push him away from me, the gun goes off and then I'm deaf. And then I turn around and see my son. My son is on the floor and he's turning blue. Police said Tello then shot his mother and younger sister, 14. Both are expected to survive. Okay, well, one article I read, it said that he shot his mom and sister first and then the baby. So maybe that was wrong. Okay, it says now Dela Cruz is now being trained on how to take care of her son in case he's able to go home with her. And it says baby Armani is making a recovery, at least from the gunshot wound. Doctors are hoping to see signs of brain activity after extreme oxygen loss. Bless his little heart. Paige, Paige, if you're on a Android phone, you could go into my description. I heard it doesn't work with iPhones. Let me make sure that link in my description works. Yeah. When I punch on it, it does, but I have an Android. I appreciate everybody that's joined the channel membership. I really do. I can't believe it. We got like 15 members. Like I'm over the moon. I can't believe it. Thank y'all so much. And Lisa and Emily joined yesterday. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. Hey, Cheryl, good morning. My God, why not shoot themselves instead of shooting innocent people and a baby? I don't know. It's like something snapped in him. I think they got together when she was pregnant and he seemed fine with the baby and stuff. My hubby says some people can't handle stress and they freak out. I mean, any little amount of stress they can't handle. I mean, I can't handle a whole lot of stress, but I wouldn't freak out like that. You know what I mean? I break down and cry when I get real stressed out. Paige, thank you. Hey, good morning, Will. I've been wondering where you was at. Never got a notification. Some people got them and some didn't this morning. Will, I went into, when I was setting up my video the other morning, I went into where you can add tags and stuff to it. It wouldn't even show up any of my videos. It kept saying, oops, error, oops, error. I started freaking out. I was like, oh, my videos were gone. But they were still showing on my channel, thank God. And then yesterday, I noticed that was fixed. Brooks, that's what a Xanax is for. Yeah, when you get like really stressed out. Take a Xanax, smoke a joint. Jesus. Hey, child abuse is on the rise since everybody's cooped up at home. Because here is a man. He killed his baby. I don't know what's wrong with this guy's eyes. But his eyes look like he's got like a lot of white. You know what I mean? Got much of a, I don't know. He just looks wild. But he killed his newborn son. It says he dies from a fractured skull after father loses his temper and throws him on the floor. How could you lose your temper at a newborn baby? He looks like he's on drugs, y'all. Look at him. He's medded out. And he's from Minnesota. A Minnesota father has been charged with second-degree murder in the death of his 4-week-old son. Orancy Chi, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not sure. He don't deserve his name pronounced right. He's 23 years old, allegedly admitted to police that he'd gotten frustrated and angry with the baby's crying and threw him down on his back, causing his head to slam into the floor. The Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office said the infant's autopsy showed a lacerated liver, a lung contusion, broken ribs, skull fracture with a brain bleed, bruises to the head, internal abdominal bleeding. The skull fracture was the cause of death, investigators said. Okay, so I guess someone called, it said medical personnel came to the home about 11 a.m. on April 23rd after receiving reports of a child unconscious with a 104-degree fever. They rushed the boy to the children's hospital where he died shortly before noon. St. Paul police investigators St. Paul police investigated and spoke with a neighbor who reported sounds of pounding and a baby crying from the apartment. Oh, God love his little soul. Bless his little heart. The neighbor said the crying lasted 10 to 15 minutes. Sorry, guys, I'm getting upset. That's just awful. I'm getting emotional. I said he heard 3 to 4 cycles of pounding that lasted a minute when the baby cried. So the baby cried for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. When police interviewed him, he said the baby had been running a fever and had called a hospital where medical staff advised bringing the boy in for an examination. But he said they decided to wait. On the night of April 22nd, he said the boy had a seizure. The next morning, he said he found the baby not breathing in his crib. The arrest report says that, I don't know how you say his name, Chi, maybe? Replied, not that I know of, when asked if he was responsible for the child's injuries. Not that you know of. You know if you beat something or not, you idiot. That's all I'm going to read of that. That is so upsetting. Sometimes I can read this stuff and not get emotional. But when I started thinking about that baby crying and him being abused, it got to me. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm an emotional person. It's just crazy. I just don't understand how people can beat on children and animals and beat on anyone. Awful is right, a little tiny soul. I know. Can you imagine? Good luck to the dude with the eyes rolled back into his head. They'll love him in prison for being abusive to the child. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this baby was sick. And you know how sick babies are? They cry a lot and stuff. And you got to, like when my son was sick, when he was a baby, I'd have to hold him, you know. But instead of this idiot taking his baby to the hospital, he became stressed out and beat him to death. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, Kimberly Mack. I don't know how you pronounce his name right, but, you know, he don't even deserve his name pronounced right. So he's a monster in my book. Okay, my nose is running. There's another child abuse story we're going to talk about too, but first, we're going to do this one. A teen girl and her boyfriend were busted in a murder for hire plot against her stepfather. And you're never going to believe why she wanted her stepfather dead. Because her stepfather busted her in the sack with her little boyfriend. The girl is 16 years old, and her boyfriend is 19 years old, and they are from central Pennsylvania. And they have been charged with trying to recruit someone to kill her stepfather after he caught the couple in bed, the Lock Haven Express reported. Dylan Michael Weaver of Williamsport and Angela Grace Peluso of Trout Run have each been charged with criminal solicitation to commit first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and criminal use of a communications device. They've been remanded to Lycoming County Prison in lieu of $1 million bail each. Peluso has been charged as an adult. So what they say? What's her first name? Angelina and Dylan. Okay, so it says they admitted to the plot. Affidavit said that Angelina's stepfather, Howard Blackburn, 44, found Dylan and Angelina in bed early last Thursday morning. After Dylan left, Angelina said that Howard slapped and punched her. Then she spoke with Dylan through Snapchat and told him that Howard sexually assaulted her, which she told the police was a lie. She used it to make Dylan angry. Dylan then spoke with a friend through Snapchat, venting his anger at what he believed Howard had done and saying he wanted the man dead. The woman he was speaking with, who has not been charged, told Dylan she knew someone who could do that and provided contact information. Dylan contacted that person, who went to police upon realizing the 19-year-old wasn't joking. The informant provided screenshots of their conversation in which Dylan said he gets off work at 5:30, so we'd have to be there before him and get him as soon as he gets out of his truck before he goes inside. We need to cover our faces. They have cameras there. I just need him gone and no questions asked. What does YK mean? It says, I just want him gone and no questions asked. YK question mark. He's been abusing my girl for 10 years in her family, and I can't do it alone because she doesn't want to lose me. And he says YK again. What does YK mean? Some kind of slang abbreviation for something. I feel like you'd be able to help, Dylan said, according to the affidavit. Screenshots in the document also show Dylan's message to Angelina. Baby, I need you to tell me that it's okay if this happens to him, like you're okay with him dying. I need confirmation message as soon as you can about this. In her response, yes, baby, I have zero affection for him. We've talked about it. I just don't want to lose you is my concern, that's all. The informant continued his conversation with Dylan on Friday after speaking with police. He told Dylan he had a friend who could provide a gun to be used, but the friend wanted to meet him in person. The affidavit says the informant and his friend, actually an undercover agent, went to Dylan's home. Dylan got into their vehicle and he was recorded saying he wanted Howie out of the picture and that both he and Angelina wanted Howie dead. So he's calling Howard Howie. According to the affidavits, Angelina told police it was Dylan's idea to kill Howard and that she was okay with it, but later said she didn't mean it and only wanted to see him hurt. So Dylan and Angelina are due back in court on May 4th for a preliminary hearing. Wow. It's crazy to think that two teenagers would plot to do something like this. And, she lied to him. Her stepdad did not sexually assault her. He was, as far as I could tell, there's no history of abuse. For some reason, I don't know, maybe Howard hadn't told Angelina's mom yet that he caught her in bed with Dylan. Because they said after he caught them in bed, that's when they came up with this murder plot. I don't know. I don't know what the girl was thinking. She's definitely has attention-seeking behavior, huh? Elisa, good morning. Morning, Jean. Karen, hey, girl. Sun shining there? Well, the sun's shining here, but it's like really windy. I'm surprised y'all can't hear it. Yes, yes, yes. There was another story, but I think the teenagers actually went through with it where the teen girl and her boyfriend murdered her mom. I think it happened in Florida. Um, the mother she was into real estate, I believe. Sold big houses, down in Florida. Brooks, I could tell y'all some wild stories on how a 13-year-old claimed her uncle did stuff to her when in reality he didn't. It ended him up in jail and on the sex offenders list and all until recently. Really? I know a lot of people say, well, they're kids and they lie, but when I was a kid in that age, I knew better to make up a lie on someone like that. I mean, that's a big red flag when someone young's doing something like that. That could lead to worse things later on. Get someone put in jail for something they didn't do. It's crazy. I think teens like that must have some kind of mental illness, something going on with them, inside their head. I don't know. I'm not a therapist or a psychologist or anything, so I don't know. It just blows my mind. She was just after attention, lied to her boyfriend, and here he was going to have the stepdad murdered. That is so crazy. So crazy. Let me get something else pulled up here. Y'all know May 24th here shortly will be a year since Jennifer Dulos disappeared. I cannot believe it. So we're going to have to do a stream about her because, they still never found her body. Cheryl Coker, they just found her body. She went missing after dropping her daughter off at school as well. That's the same thing that happened to Jennifer, and Fotis was lying in wait for her. Brooks Channel, you don't see her mom taking her husband to court, although he supposedly did the same thing that his uncle did to her child. I've saw things where people are going through divorces, and the divorces get real nasty. And then all of a sudden they'll allege, oh, my husband was molesting our children. Or vice versa. The husband will allege some kind of abuse against the mother, and it'll be lies just for revenge because they're in a nasty divorce and custody battle. It's a bunch of bullcrap. I don't know. I'm going to screen share something with y'all. And this little monster right here, she is a nurse. And, nurses are supposed to be loving, caring, wanting to help people get well. Well, this one killed her foster son that she was going to try to adopt. And she is from Minnesota. It says, nurse allegedly kills foster son she planned to adopt, brings him blue and lifeless to ER. It makes me so mad when I see people people that supposed to be helping the community and helping people do stuff like this, like police officers, nurses, teachers, people like that, A Minnesota nurse is facing second-degree murder charges for allegedly killing her foster son last Thursday. A criminal complaint stated that on April 23rd, Kelly Jo Anderson, age 35 years old, arrived at Sanford Emergency Department in Fargo with a boy who appeared blue and lifeless. He had bruising to his face and head. A doctor noted the child's core temperature was 82 degrees, suggesting he died approximately 40 minutes before their arrival, according to Bring Me the News, Minnesota. The Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office um, found the victim had internal injuries and injuries to his face, legs, chest, arms, hand, back, foot, and penis. His preliminary cause of death was ruled a homicide by probable asphyxia and blunt force trauma, according to Bring Me the News. Anderson allegedly told authorities she believed her foster son had a seizure, prompting her to take him to the hospital. Anderson also claimed the boy harmed himself and recently threw himself from the bathtub to the toilet, the news outlet reported. Anderson's husband, who reportedly was at work at the time, allegedly said the boy had no history of seizures or self-harm. He reportedly also stated that the child had no marks or injuries when he bathed him the night before. According to Bring Me the News, Anderson said the boy was babbling and had labored breathing while en route to the hospital. She recounted pulling over a few blocks from the hospital because the child had stopped babbling and didn't have a pulse. Anderson allegedly also said she was about to perform CPR, but she detected a faint pulse. So she got back in the car, continued to drive to the emergency room. Authorities have not released the victim's name or age. Anderson allegedly admitted that she and her husband were reconsidering adopting the child. Reports indicate that the couple had the boy for about a year. Anderson remains in custody. The Minnesota Department of Human Resources confirmed to KFGO that they temporarily suspended her license to provide foster care. Temporarily suspended her license? She should never have a license. Shouldn't be on a temporary basis. So apparently the husband wasn't involved. And, I'm not quite sure if there had been abuse going on prior to this or not, or if this woman just snapped. Nurses are trained to deal with stressful situations. But like I always say, some people are never meant to be parents, never meant to be nurses or teachers. Will, Cece, can we find a story about someone from another state? Laugh out loud. Leave Minnesota alone. Leave Brittany alone as well, if you recall that video. No, I'm lost with the Leave Brittany Alone video. But, yeah, we'll find something else. It's just seems like there's a lot more child abuse going on lately. Maybe I'm just noticing it more, but I don't think so. I think there's a lot more going on. I thought I saw something about Casey Anthony in the chat. Maybe not. Hey, Will, did you see Cindy Watts' interview with Miss Mensa? She got a different channel name. It's like Miss Liberty's Justice, American Justice, some crap. I don't know. The telephone call interview she had, it was quite awful to try to listen to because it sounded like Cindy had her mouth right up against the daggone speaker of the phone. It's like all freaking muffled. I had to use my headphones and turn it up full blast. Hey, Light Feather, good morning. Quarantine is causing abuse for children, adults, and all. I know it. You're a strong lady, Brooke. I agree. Sorry for what you went through. I would picture that it's from Chris Crocker. He's really funny. I'll have to check him out. I've been watching that guy that I think his name is Darren Knight. He does like these little comedy videos and he's acting like a Southern mama. And it's funny as crap. Y'all gotta check that out. Yes, Cindy Watts did an interview, and I know y'all's gonna want the link, so let me go get it. Yeah. And I know this because Mommy Ramblings was talking about it, so I went to check it out for myself. I wish I could do a reaction video to it, but I can't. She'd strike me in a heartbeat. I'm listening to it. I listened to it. We are running it back. Something odd about the speech patterns. He said it sounds like the voice has been altered. Well, okay, so it did sound like her, but kinda. But it was just so muffled. Like I said, it sounded like her mouth was up against the speaker. And, and it just seemed like, Miss Benson's like, she's asking these questions, you know, and she's wanting Cindy to answer so, she could convince everybody that they were great grandparents and love the girls. I don't doubt that they didn't love Chris's children. Bill and Cece, I don't doubt that at all. I don't think they were very close to them because they didn't live nearby. So I'm sure they were closer with Jamie's kids, Chris's sister's kids. I'm sure. But I don't know. I don't know why I keep rehashing this. There is a part of me that feels bad for Cindy Watts. I can't imagine my son murdering his wife and children. Love her, hate her, I can't imagine that. But when she just talks about Shanann's not here to defend herself. I'm sure both of those women, Shanann and Cindy, did stuff to probably irritate one another. I'm sure they both snapped at one another. But Shanann's nobody's perfect, right? And I'm sure Cindy's not mother-in-law of the year. She's not a mother-in-law like I got. My mother-in-law's never said an ill word to me. She treats me, I'm part of the family. Of course. Let me let my dog in, guys. Thanks, lady. You're going to make me lose my train of thought, girl. But look, there's no sense in rehashing it. And I was looking at her comment section of that video, and, someone's like, aren't you going to get the Rusex side of it too, just to be fair? And then someone else commented and said, oh, the Rusex don't do interviews unless you pay them, especially Frankie. I was like, what are y'all talking about? That family has done interviews. They are trying to move on with their life the best they can. They don't need to be giving no more interviews. They're trying to grieve. They lost their daughter and their granddaughters, and baby Nico. So don't forget him. Sometimes I let that slip my mind and I don't mean to. Shannon and the children are gone. It makes me mad that she continues to talk crap when no one's here to defend themselves. I'd haunt her if I were dead. Just saying. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Like, I don't know. It's like they're out to prove that Shanann wasn't the person she appeared to be, like on social media. Everybody loving her being happy-go-lucky. They want to paint her in a different light. Hey, look, we're all a little bit different off social media. I mean, what did they expect her to get on there and be griping about stuff? I mean, I just don't get it. Oh yeah, I went to get that link and totally forgot about it. I think I forgot about it. Hell, I don't know. I get wound up talking. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. It's just how I am. It's just my nature. I've always been that way. If I'm talking, carrying on a conversation, even around the house here, and I got something in my hand, I will put it up, not even know I'm doing it, like put it in a cabinet and have no memory of it. Let's just say like a cigarette lighter or something like that. It's crazy. Hey, Mincy called herself Lady Justice. Oh, she stole that because Will's got t-shirts, Lady Justice. She's not Lady Justice. She's Lady Justice. She get both sides of the story. All right, last thing I will say on this, I'll leave it there. Why would Cindy Watts do an interview with Miss Mensa and not with her friend from the Gaston Gazette? Good question. Oh, and I saw Miss Mensa in the comment section. She told that person that was asking about the sex. She said, I don't reach out to people to get interviews. They reach out to me. Go look at her comment section. I just shared y'all the link. Shouldn't be promoting her stinking channel. Because when you mention somebody, it's kind of promoting it in a way, but I just want y'all to listen to that bullshit. You'll have to put on headphones, believe me. Headphones. Just trying to think if there was anything else. Maybe in the morning, KDF's got to get back with me, but her and Mac that comes into the chat they came on panel, and we're going to discuss an interview from that Tiger King bunch. Don Lewis's right-hand man, Kenny Farr's ex. We're going to discuss that. Hey, Ribby. Hey, Chrissy. I don't talk about it a lot because I've been bullied about it, but Shanann was in a group on Facebook I helped run, and she was a beautiful, good woman. Yeah, she seemed to be one of them people that everybody loved. I mean, she seemed to be one of them people, like me. I can talk to anybody. I just carry on a conversation and be nice and polite. There's nothing wrong with that. When you get on social media, people say, oh, she's not like in her videos, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Get on Facebook and post an argument? You share the good parts of your life and stuff. I don't understand what people don't get about that. Of course, no one's perfect. Of course. But you know what? They say you're not supposed to talk ill of the dead. Have you ever heard that? The woman was viciously, violently murdered. I call it violently, what he did. Vicious. And he murdered his two daughters. Bella had to witness her sister, Cece, being murdered. If you want to talk about somebody, talk about your son, Cindy wants. Talk about Chris, what he did to them. They're not here to defend themselves. No one's perfect. Of course she wasn't perfect. Am I perfect? Are y'all perfect? No. No one is. Her father thanked me for speaking against the haters. Yeah, I didn't like people, big ambassador. And in this interview, right at the end, I believe, right before it ends, Cindy says that Shanann gave the girls Benadryl and Tylenol. I say Tylenol funny, y'all. I know my hubby tells me all the time. But anyways, that she would give it to the girls just to make them go to sleep when they wasn't sick. She's saying Shanann doped her girls up at night so she wouldn't have to fool with them when they go to sleep. That's bullcrap. Where's the proof? Oh, thank you, Will. You're a good person. I think the world of you. Queen C, hey. In the end, both Stan and Chris were in a toxic relationship. Yeah. Yeah, now I can say this. My hubby, I personally wouldn't have him on my videos when I knew he didn't like it or was uncomfortable with it. Even if he was going along with it, if I could tell he was uncomfortable, I wouldn't do it. But you know what? He should have grew some, you know what, some golden nuggets and said, look, Shanann, I'm going to support you in this thriving. I don't want to be in your videos, honey. I don't want all this on, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. But he could not stand up for himself. He didn't know how to speak his mind and say, hey, I don't want to do that. Hey, I don't like that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. But he's like one of them people that don't got a backbone. Don't matter what she did. She didn't deserve to die and her two little girls and baby Nico. Bottom line, don't matter. I don't know why they just keep wanting to rehash. Because what it is, they was trying to clear Cindy's image of how the public perceives her. Trying to justify it. I don't believe that for a second. Shanann practiced homeopathic medicine. She wouldn't even take her lupus medicine at first. Something smells like complete bullshit with her saying that. Yeah, they were trying to make Shanann look bad and Cindy, the innocent one. Oh, Shanann blew up with her. And I don't know about the whole peanut, situation that went down at Cindy Watts' home that summer they were visiting. I don't know. In the ice cream situation, I think it was probably some petty crap that happened that day. But they just, have such a history of probably not getting along. And both of them probably had a lot built up inside because of the toxic relationship. And things probably exploded that day. I'd say both of them were probably in the wrong that day. But you won't hear Cindy say that. You won't hear her say that. You'll hear her be the victim and Shanann was the aggressor. But you can't imagine what kind of mother-in-law she was. Always making little smart aleck comments and stuff. I wouldn't like that either. Trying to exit my Google there. I think secretly they were planning on separating or taking time apart after she had Nico and she was going to go stay with her parents. Maybe. Hey, her friend, Nicole Atkinson, she's got cancer, y'all. I watch her YouTube channel. Sometimes, I'm subscribed to it. I'm not going to lie and say I watch it all the time because I don't want to see her that way. She shares videos about her fight with cancer and she looks bad, guys. She looks bad. Remember her in your prayers. She said she's still grieving Shanann. She just knew, she just had a feeling something was off that day. There's no way she was the aggressor because he flat out killed her and kids. The aggressor in the argument with Cindy about the peanuts and ice cream. Remember when they went back to North Carolina and went to Cindy and Ronnie's estate and Cindy and Shanann had that big blowout? That's what I'm talking about. Cindy wanted to make out like Shanann was the aggressor. She was the victim that day during that fight. I've spoken with Nicole Atkins. Really, Brooke. She seems like a good person. Her and Shanann were super close. Yep, she got cancer. I don't think she's going to make it to the end. And, she's got a little girl too, don't she? I know she got her son, which was with her that day when she went to Shanann's house that morning. He's on body cam footage with her too. But she's got a smaller daughter. I've spoken with Frankie Jr. Yeah, I feel bad for him. I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel. I wish he'd do more data updates. Just imagine what that little dog saw. Even if a dog is put up in a little cage in a little kennel, something's going on in the house, they can sense it. Dogs are smart. My dogs are telepathic. I swear they are. My dogs can read my mind. I can just be pouring coffee in the kitchen in my PJs, not change clothes or nothing. Be thinking about going for a WALK. I can't say that word. Real lady. And lady will know it. She'll come in the kitchen, start spinning around, doing her little thing she does when she knows I'm going to take her on one. She's telepathic. Sorry, Remy, about your mom. I know you lost your mom when you was young. I thought she had a little girl, too. I could have swore Nicole had a little girl. I could be wrong. God bless Nicole Atkinson and her following her gut feeling and not letting that psychopath talk her out of it. Yeah, if Nicole hadn't showed up that day and stuff, Chris would have had time to have gotten rid of Shanann's purse and everything. I think eventually, though, the bodies would have been discovered, especially Shanann's. She has 3 kids total. I feel bad for her. She's lost a lot of weight. She's really pale. It's sad. She has a girl and 2 boys. I was pretty sure she had a little girl. Probably maybe 10 or 11 now. Maybe not that old. But anywho, yeah, y'all check out that interview. Let me know what you think. Will keep me updated uh, about that because, like I said, in the interview, the voice is very muffled. Hey, I hope she don't get mad at me saying that. But you put up videos, people's going to give you criticism sometimes. But I don't know. It could have been some kind of voice cover up, something. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird interview. But I'm going to get off here. I've got some stuff to do. I've got to get my son's stuff organized. He's going over to my mom's and stuff like that. Hopefully tomorrow KDF and Mac can come up on panel and we're going to discuss the Tiger King, Dawn's disappearance a little bit. Anyways, I love y'all. Thanks for chatting. Thank you all for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I really, really do. Like, I just can't believe it. I can't believe I got a channel membership and now y'all support me. People in the chat, people in the membership. I don't know. I'm just speechless. I love y'all and I appreciate it. I really do. I think the world of y'all. I look forward to coming on here in the mornings and chatting. And, I appreciate y'all listening to my rambling. I go from one true crime case to another. Sometimes I don't even give y'all time to respond. And you never complain about it. And I appreciate that. But anyways, I love y'all. God bless. Be safe. Peace. And I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully, God willing.